So you get locked up at 12. How did that go down?
I ended up catching like a stab charge.
Who'd you stab?
Some dude in the neighborhood. He was grown. I was young. You know, he tried to put his hands on me, and I felt like I could hit him because he's a grown man. I'm a juvenile.
And you were keeping it on you at that time? It was.
Yeah, but the only thing that went sideways with that is because I had got into it with his nephew. His nephew was like 20 years old.
Okay.
And he jumped out on me. You know, like I was riding a bike. He jumped out. I took off on the bike on his ass. Went to the house and got a baseball bat. And I was gonna just go back and hit him with the baseball bat. But then it didn't work like that. My old boy, his wife took the baseball bat and shit. So then I grabbed a knife and went down the street. Went there, told the nephew that I'd fight him one-on-one and shit. And then my stepmom went down there with me. And then next thing you know, the uncle came out there and was like, "Oh, you think you grown?" And he tried to grab me. So I upped my knife and cut him.
Where?
In his chest.
Bad?
Yeah. And then the police, like the mom was already on the phone with the police. So like they came, they were there when it all went down.
The cops were almost like there when it happened, or like right
like
after?
Instantly. Like as soon as I like pulled it out and everything, like and did the whole act, they pulled up. And then I would have ran, but if I would have ran, they told me since I didn't run, DCF didn't get involved with my peoples, because if you'll do a dangerous act and the police come and you'll run when your parents are there, then your parents can't even control you. So it was a good thing I didn't run off, you know what I'm saying? So I got arrested for it, and they charged me with it because I was at his house. I was like, if it would have been anywhere else, like if it would have been on the street, but it was like the swell area. Down in Florida, we have a swell, which is like the outside of on the other side of the sidewalk. Like you got a sidewalk along the gate,
right,
and then you got grass before the road. So since it was right there, it was basically his house. They charged me with it.
Wow.
But if it was 2 houses down, I would have got off because he was old. He was a grown man, and I was a juvenile.
Oh yeah, right. That's got to be the weirdest part about it. You're like 12. And
yeah, so I dead ass felt like I was in the right.
Right.
But I shouldn't have went back down there. That's what fucked everything up.
Okay, that makes sense. So they just lock you up for how long?
I did 21 days then, and got out and was waiting to go to like a juvenile program. And then I caught a bunch of other charges and shit in the middle of the juvenile, waiting to go to the juvenile program. You know, like attempted robbery and all the little batteries and shit like that in my neighborhood. And then
what was your thought process? Like, they're gonna lock me up anyway, so I might as well do some shit before I go
get
in.
it all out my system.
Right.
So then after that, I got sentenced to a program.
Right.
Juvenile, like a little prison or whatever.
Program is just like a specific type of prison bid that you get when you're underage at that point, or what?
Yeah, like juvenile program. We got like 4, 6, 8s, and 10s. That's what they go by. Like, that's like what level it is. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
4 means you can like go home. 6 is less time than 10 or 8, and then 8's less time than 10. You know, it goes like that. And then I went there, and then supposed to do like 6 to 9 months. Ended up doing like 18.
Really?
From getting in the shit while I was in there.
What kind of shit are you getting into?
Fights and different shit like that.
So you get in there and it's what is it? Where they say gladiator school?
Yeah.
It was like that.
Just like that. Yeah.
All of a sudden, you were like the worst kid in your fucking area, and then all of a sudden you're around all these other way worse kids.
Yeah, you come in there and then where I was at was in Miami, where the Everglades are at, Florida City.
So you're dealing with people that are from a totally different walk of life than you were used to.
Yeah, exactly. And then like, you know, when you go in there, you know, people are gonna test you and shit. Especially I'm a white boy. You know.
Did that stand out a lot at that point? Like most of the people you were locked up with are not white?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yep. Because down south, like down in Florida and shit, we got majority black people locked up than you do white people. You know what I'm saying? And then we grow up cool with black culture, you know what I'm saying, where I'm from. So it's like, we don't go off skin colors.
Right.
Like, that shit don't really matter, you know, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's weird how it doesn't seem like it matters that much. Like, people would be totally be down to be cool with you on the outside, but then it feels like it's got to get way more complicated once you're in there, because a lot of white guys are racist.
Yeah.
A lot of the black dudes and shit probably don't fuck with you off rip, or at least they want you to really prove yourself, right?
Not really. It's different though. It's more like down in Florida, like in prison and shit. If you're white, like me, like how I go in there, I get along with blacks and Spanish. So you'll have the whites who are in their white gang that don't really fuck with me because I'm cool with the other ones. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I'm on some shit like, I don't care what color you are. You know, that shit don't really matter to me. You can be fucking any color you want. You know, it don't really. So it's more like when you're white and you get along with blacks, you got more problems with the whites than you do the blacks. The blacks are cool with everybody, so it's not really, you know, it ain't really.
Because they're like less insecure, at least in that prison format, because they're so in control of it that it's like, why the fuck would they really be so concerned about you, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, no matter where you go, though, when you're a white boy, you gotta, like, eventually show them what's up, you know? Like, or else you're just low-key tucking your tail and you're fucking trying to float and not be noticed, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So how long did it take before you had to sort of prove yourself, or someone tried to fight you or something?
What, in prison?
Yeah,
or
when you got locked up on the younger shit as well?
Oh, like, shit, as soon as I got into detention center doing the 21 days before I even went to the juvenile program, I was fighting.
Really?
Over a bag of sour Skittles.
Really?
Stupidest shit ever. Yeah, man. And I ain't even mean to get in the fight. It was just the guards amped that shit up. You know what I'm saying? They walked in the middle of the quad, and we got this thing called the horseshoe. And they got like these rubber couches that's shaped like a horseshoe.
Uh-huh.
And the guards just walk in and threw a bag of rubber, sour Skittles in the middle of the fucking floor.
Right.
So everyone jumps on them shits. All the jits are fighting each other and everything. And I was just sitting there. I wasn't even the one going after the Skittles.
Mm-hmm.
I was just sitting there, and then the one kid that got him and shit, he went to fighting everybody up, and he got up and he kicked me dead in the mouth just from sitting there.
Wow.
You see, so I was like an innocent bystander, you know what I'm saying? And then when he hit me, I jumped up and fucking got in the fade with him. Then they were like, "Oh, that white boy's bumping." They were like, "We're gonna call him Chucky."
That was your original nickname in there?
That's what. Yeah, they were like, "Yeah, he looked like Chucky," because I had longer hair and shit when I was younger.
Okay.
Like a blowout.
How old are you now?
32.
Okay, so you're still pretty young. But so, okay, at that point, you start to feel like you're more accepted, or like what does that kind of turn into?
It just turned into where like they knew I'm gonna bump. So it's like, even if they're willing to bump, it's like it ain't gonna go by easily with him without bumping, you know?
Right.
So a lot of times it just be a precaution, you know? People will say shit and act some type of way, but they'll normally only do it to people who they know aren't gonna stick up for themselves.
Right.
So if they really don't feel like fighting, but they talk like they're gonna fight, or if they know you're gonna fight, they might not really wanna fight. So they're not gonna fuck with you no more. Next, they're gonna try to friend you and embrace you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's just how that shit goes. And then I was known in there. And then I went to the program, used to get in the shit, so then they started calling me Spark Plug. Because the spark plug get hot and pop off. That's
Really?
what it was. I get hot and I pop off on someone.
Have you always had a temper like that, or was this more just like something that you kind of started to do to keep your reputation when you were in prison? Like,
Well, no, I was in anger management classes and everything when I was younger.
really?
Just
Because you were just likely to snap and just swing on somebody, or what?
yeah, like if it led to that, you know, I just was like, my old girl used to say that my eyes fool people, you know what I'm saying? Like they see a white boy come in. They were a lot bluer when I was littler, but she'd say, "Oh, see a white boy with baby blue eyes and shit," so they think it's sweet, you know, they think they can just, and then you're in an environment where you're outnumbered regardless.
Right.
You know, so after a while, eventually, you know, instead of it being to where they keep trying to come at me to make me prove myself, it got normal to me to where I'm just gonna prove myself. And as soon as I get in this shit, just to let them know, like, I'm not the one to fuck with. Because win, lose, or draw, we can get in there, you know what I'm saying?
I think I realized, like, at some point in my life, like, you can't really fight that good. So if somebody disrespects you, you should punch them before they get a chance to punch you.
Nah, that's
You
true.
know?
Yep.
But you just had to be real with myself at a certain point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like my one homeboy, he be saying all the time, like, I don't know how to fight, but I hit hard.
Right.
Not me, him. You feel me?
Okay, guys, we want to thank you so much for getting us to 100,000 subscribers right here on the Clips channel. If you want to support, please click that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 200K. Thank you. Thank you so much.